gorgeous. Happy Frugal Friday to you. I hope that you've had a great week so far. Today's video is all about old school makeup that no one talks about anymore. We're going to take a trip down memory lane today. Let me know which of these products you still have and if you still use them or not. It's going to be a good video. Moisturizer. This is one you don't hear much about, but it's been my favorite for years, and this is from Grown Alchemist. It's the Hydra Repair Day Cream. It's the only, I want to say, higher end facial moisturizer that I will spend money on because it's that good. I like it because it's mattifying on the skin. You can see it doesn't look greasy. It sinks right in. It feels amazing. It makes your skin feel hydrated and moisturized, and it lasts really well under makeup too. I'm also going to be applying the Supergoop Zinc Screen because we are going to be out in the sun today. So we'll apply this generously over the top. The kids earned Busch Gardens today because they did so well with homeschool this past week. So that's where we take off Fridays, and then there's always a prize that they can look forward to, like a place to go or something to do. So that's their reward for the week. Who remembers these? Can you still get these? I don't know if you can or not. I believe I've seen them online, not so much in stores. It was either these or this. This is one I haven't used in a while either, but it used to be one of my all-time favorite palettes from LORAC. You can see right there. Love. What I think I'm going to do though is combine the two together. My favorite one, oh man, it's hard to pick. I have like 5 favorites in the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. But this one I think is the one I'm going to use today. This is the one in Silver Sky. What I loved about this was it was a pure silver, and it is beautiful on the eyes. We're going to take that light brown from the LORAC palette. My gosh, it's been a while since I've used this palette. I forgot how pigmented it was. Alright, we have to blend some of this down. Well, hello. You. What are you doing? It's a Micah. Say hi. You wanted to get up there so badly. If it's not a kid, it's a cat. Uh-huh. I'm talking about you. Oh, yes. Let's use this one, too. Bottomless Java from the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. I'm going to apply this to the outer half of the lid. And then we're going to take that Silver Sky eyeshadow. I remember wearing this when I was pregnant with Jet. It was the one that I wore the most all the time. I loved this little booger. Oh, it's so stinking pretty. Okay, but it needs to be wetified, as in something needs to be added to it, because it's one of those that has a lot of fallout if you don't apply it wet. Okay, that's much better. And even if you don't have this L'Oreal eyeshadow or you can't access it, I don't even know if you can still get the LORAC Pro palette, but you could use this shade in the palette too for the Silver Sky one that I'm using here, because these two are pretty identical to one another. And then you would just need a darker brown on the outer corner. And then for eyeliner, I'm going in with the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner in the shade Lasting Brown. This is a brand that I don't feel like gets enough recognition, and they come out with some really amazing products. They may have some misses here and there, but these eyeliners are still some of my favorites, and ones that I have replaced many times because they are so good. For the brows, I'm picking up an old favorite that I haven't used in years. We're talking since early days of YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2012, so that should give you perspective there. Revlon's Colorstay Brow Creator. The pencil that I originally used didn't look like this. It was an actual pencil, and you had to sharpen it, and I went through so many of them. They don't make those anymore. I believe they replaced them with this, but it's still a favorite of mine. Just not one that I reach for very often, because I've started to gravitate more to the micro pens. That's been the way that I've been doing my brows. And this is in the shade Soft Brown, by the way, for reference. Lashes I'll be using today are from Kiss, and these are the ones in Naked Drama, and they are Ruffle. Aren't those beautiful? While we're on the topic of old school, who remembers red cherry lashes? Oh my gosh, that was all I used when I first started on YouTube. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. I think it was Red Cherry number 43 was my favorite. Those are lovely. I might regret this decision once I'm at the park today, but you know, they're still pretty. These next two products are ones I have not used, again, in years. They may still be talked about here and there. I haven't heard much about them, and so I'm picking them up again. The first one being the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Foundation. I am in the shade NW20 for reference. And then Bobbi Brown's Corrector, and this is in the shade Peach, and this is for the under eye area. And that is one, it's almost finished, but I love this. For whatever reason, haven't picked either of these up in a long time. Brush I'm using for reference, by the way, is Max 128. Again, another one, I don't know if you can get this one anymore either. This was my go-to foundation brush many moons ago. And I love it because it does provide a really soft, beautiful finish on the skin. And it's not like other brushes. That was what hooked me on it. I think the makeup artist at MAC did my makeup with this brush one time. And the second I saw it finished, I said, I gotta have that. Give me that brush too. And I don't remember the details on the brush, but one side of the brush is synthetic fibers, and I believe on the other side of the brush is natural fibers. So you use one for blending, and then you use the other for buffing. Apparently I didn't exfoliate well enough on my nose today, but you know what? Real life, okay? I have texture on my skin, as does everyone. No perfection here. By the way, we did start homeschooling Gia because she really wanted to do it, and I noticed she's much happier now being at home, being homeschooled. So we've gone in that direction. And what I'm noticing is that she is getting very frustrated when, especially during cursive writing, she's learning cursive right now, she gets so frustrated when it's not perfect. And oh man, it took me back to my childhood of this perfectionism that I've dealt with all my life, that I've consistently made an effort to get away from. And so I sat her down and I was like, Gia, you don't have to be perfect. I said, it's okay to be messy sometimes. It's okay to make a mistake, you know? And I had forgotten my wallet the other day when we went to return some stuff. So I couldn't even return the items. So it was a wasted trip and I was kind of bummed about it, but I just remembered, hey, you're human, you know, you make mistakes too. And so she pipes up and she's like the day that you forgot your wallet. I was like, yes, like the day I forgot my wallet. So I said, see, mom's not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. That's the biggest thing I could tell anyone in life. Don't ever try to be perfect. And I really feel like that came from the school she was in because they were very big on this perfectionism thing. So I'm really glad that I pulled her out when I did. That is the most exhausting, most time-consuming, most depressing trait. I'm just saying. All right, back to makeup. I'm gonna put my soapbox away. Peach Cotton Multi-Finish Powder. This is from Skinfood. It's another one I haven't used in a while and you don't hear talked about much, but it's such a great little product. So I'm going to set the T-zone with this. I have an old one for you. Who remembers this one? The W7 Hollywood Bronze and Glow. This was a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star one, and I believe this was $7 if I'm not mistaken. And you could find it in places like Ross, what are those other stores? Marshalls, TJ Maxx, those type of places. I believe you could order it online back then too. You can't get it now, but it was an amazing dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. Very pigmented, lasts all day. It's been one that I haven't picked up in a long time, but it's amazing. Look at this. Ah! I know I gotta blend it, but just go with me here. Yeah. And I stopped using it because you can't get it anymore, and I didn't want to use something in videos that people couldn't access. But there may be many of you who still have a product like this, and if you do, pull that little booger out and use it because it's amazing. And for blush, Physicians Formula Rosé All Day. This is the most beautiful blush and highlighter in one, and it has a light rose scent to it. It's not too pigmented, and the color is simply gorgeous. Now it did come with a little bit of a creamy glow product here that you could apply on the high points of your face, like highlighter. I never really cared for that so much in this one, but I really, really loved the blush. It's so subtle, but it adds a beautiful pinky glow to the skin. I stumbled across this lipstick from Colourpop. This is one of their Lippie Stix in the shade, what was this one? Lumiere. And this was one that I bought as a dupe for some high-end lipstick I was comparing it to. And then I put it down and I never picked it up again. And I just rediscovered it and I was like, oh, I love this kind of color. And what I like about it too is that you can line your lips with it and fill them in at the same time. Isn't that gorgeous? I know, I have so many lipsticks that are this color, but I love this one too. And then to finish all of this off, one product we don't hear talked about like ever, but has been a favorite of mine for years, is the Model in a Bottle setting spray. Now the smell of it is completely awful. It's so heavily perfumed, it's disgusting. But let me tell you, this is the one setting spray that will hold everything in place. It's like hairspray, but you have to spray it and walk. So I can't sit here and talk to you while I'm doing it. Oh, gotta go. But when I tell you amazing hold on your face, nothing like it. Let me know your thoughts on these products. If one triggered a memory for you, feel free to share that below. Or if you just rediscovered an old favorite that you'd forgotten about, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Most people, when I do these kinds of videos, will say, oh, I was expecting you to use makeup from decades ago. And I agree with you. That's what I think of when I think of old school too. But here in YouTube land, everything a year ago is considered old school. It's sad, but it's true. So yeah, 10 years ago is about, I mean, that's really old school in YouTube land. So sad that that's the society that we live in, but that's where we're at. So I hope that you enjoyed this nonetheless, and I thoroughly enjoyed getting to spend this time with you. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to watch. I'm wishing you a beautifully blessed weekend ahead. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and look forward to seeing you again next week.